Hi friends, welcome! If it's your first time here, my name is Jess, and you have reached the channel of transformation. In this week's episode, we will be tackling our office space. It's been a while, but step by step, we have got it done. Finally, we have used mostly thrifted items and incorporated them into our space. And what we've had there, we updated or upcycled so that we can keep them and stay on budget. So let's go see what we could do with this space, and hopefully we give you ideas that inspire you to tackle this space on a budget as well. Let's go. First, I want to give you a tour of this space so that I can point out some problem areas. This dresser here is from IKEA. My boys love to shove their weights underneath. Actually, they don't always put them back, so they are great toe stubbers. The water cooler we kind of have to keep in this area. We have no other place to put it. And the problem with it here is that as the water jugs get emptied, they just get thrown right here on the floor. And as you can see, walking through the kitchen, they are also toe stubbers. This wall was a wall that we built to separate this area so that Colby's room could be on the other side, but we never finished it. My husband would really like the computer to face out towards the window so that he can have an awesome view when he sits at the desk. And the desk is IKEA as well, and it just needs a little bit of updating. I want to add some handles to it. So let's get started. This was a little bit of a problem because this stool, even though it was super cute, was taller than the chair. So I just removed the base to make it shorter. Now I'm just going to move this whole desk area over to the other side to see if I can reposition it to something that we like, but also I need to get it away from the wall so that we can begin working on the wall. These curtains were just ones that I had when we moved here from Pennsylvania, but they are too short. So we're brainstorming what to do with the curtains. Here I was just really trying to figure out a way to get these desks to face the window so that we could have our computer there. And I know in fast motion in a video, it makes it look super easy, but this furniture is actually really heavy, especially that filing cabinet. Here I'm just removing the legs from this table. I eventually want to paint them gold, but for now I just am taking them off so that I could put these drawers underneath. And the other problem with this room, like we mentioned before, is that there are no outlets. I know you could see one against the back wall there, but all the outlets along that back wall do not work for some reason. So we have to run extension cords everywhere, and that is just such a pain. So we're going to get this wall prepped and ready for our treatment. I'm just filling all the holes in here with Best and Final. And after that dries, I will go ahead and sand it down. And we are going to be putting wallpaper on the top. And it's not something that I probably would have chose if I got to pick what wallpaper, but we are living in a rental property, and so we do not want to spend a lot of money. So I found wallpaper at the thrift store, and it was only $3.99 for the entire roll, so I decided to make it work. So I'm just priming the top part of the wall, and then my husband had some extra beadboard left over from a project that he did at work, and so we are going to be putting that up with the chair rail at the bottom. And here's the wallpaper, and I definitely needed Jerry's help for this. I never actually hung wallpaper by myself before, and this was kind of an old school kind where you needed to buy the wallpaper paste and then roll it on as you went along, kind of like a paint, and then stick the wallpaper up. And it was full of designs, so we wanted to make sure that the designs all matched up once we put it on the wall. So I was so thankful that he was available to help me with this. Actually, he's always available to help me. He's so kind and generous, and I just appreciate him so much. He's always supporting my dreams and just helping me with whatever I need help with. So after a long, hard day of work, he comes home to helping me with wallpaper. And after everything was cut, it was time to hang it on the wall. So like I mentioned before, the first step was to use that wallpaper paste. We rolled it on with a roller and then put the wallpaper up, making sure everything was straight and getting all the air bubbles out. And then of course, piece by piece, we wanted to make sure everything was lined up. And if you ever hung wallpaper by yourself, wow, kudos to you, because I felt like you'd have to have at least 4 arms to do this. But we got in our groove and figured out what worked, and definitely used all 4 of our arms. And like I said, I probably wouldn't have picked this wallpaper out if I got to choose, right off the shelf. But since we are renting here, this wall will actually come down when we move. And so we wanted to make sure we were being as cost effective as possible. And for $3.99 for the roll, you just can't beat that. And let's talk about this paint color in here as well while we're at it. I really did want to paint these walls. However, because this room is one room, it was actually kind of like a sunroom, I decided not to paint the wall, because if I painted the walls here in the office, once we take that wall down, I would have to go ahead and paint all the walls over in Colby's room as well, since the wall was gone and it's one room. We couldn't leave it half painted. Here, Jerry is putting up the paneling. Like I said, this was left over from a project that he did at work, and so we decided to use it here, and so this cost us nothing. After we had that up, Jerry went ahead and trimmed out the bottom. And I act like I'm a big help, but really I'm just telling him what to do and what I want to see. And he does it. He's so sweet. After everything was tacked up, I wanted to go ahead and clean it all and give it some paint. And if you've been around for a while, you know that the Age Beige color by Behr is one of my absolute favorites. And it's something that I still have on hand from some projects before. So I went ahead and used that for this project as well. And I really, really do enjoy that color. And now would be a great time for you guys to show us a little love and support. Hit that like button, comment, let us know what you like about this channel, what you'd like to see. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode, and share this with a friend. We put a lot of time and effort into these videos, and we want to make sure that we're bringing you content that you're enjoying and content that will help this channel continue to grow. So after 2 coats of paint, we're back to lugging this heavy filing cabinet around, trying to reposition this furniture. And I'm so visual, I need to move everything and then decide if I like it or not. So here I was trying to put all of the desk furniture facing out the window, making it all work on one wall. But then I didn't have a great place for my chair. And if I did that, then the dresser that we need for storage would have had to go against the wallpaper wall. And it was just not working out, because then it interfered with getting into the filing cabinet drawers and kind of interrupted the walkway from the kitchen. So even though it looks okay in this video here, I ended up switching it, which you'll see. But the next project that I knew I needed to work on was tackling that dresser. The dresser we actually kind of got for free. We used to have an Airbnb, and the dresser we bought in the as-is section from IKEA for $75, specifically for that Airbnb. So it came out of the business account, and then we ended up selling that Airbnb, and so we got to keep the dresser. So anyway, $75 or free. It was brand new from IKEA, so it was a great deal. But it comes natural, raw wood, and so I knew that it needed a little bit of an update. And here Jerry is putting that trim piece up to finish that wall. And then I went in and put putty in the little holes and touched up the paint after he was done. And to dress up these IKEA drawers, we went ahead and purchased some gold hardware, which I think makes a huge difference. And here I'm just using the gold rub and buff to paint these handles of the filing cabinet. And these are just ways that you can, upcycle the things that you have so that you don't have to go out and buy new things just to get a new look. So it made such a big difference. And I love the rub and buff. It's so easy to use. Here I'm just applying it with a paintbrush, but you could also use a paper towel or a sponge, or basically you can use whatever to apply this. It's kind of like a wax. You rub it on and then you technically can buff it off, but I often just put it on and let it dry so that I have full coverage and it doesn't become opaque. And then these were the legs that were on the tabletops. So I'm giving them a good cleaning, and then I am going to spray them with the Rust-Oleum Antique Bronze spray paint. And after they dried, I went ahead and swapped them out for these silver ones. We actually had extra legs because the long desk as well used to have legs on it, and then we, over time, just built the collection from IKEA and put those drawers underneath. So I went ahead and put the gold on this short piece. And as you can see, I had rearranged the furniture again. And this configuration is what seemed to work pretty good. I ended up putting the computer on that small dresser facing outside. And here's the dresser. I lost the footage of giving it its first coat, but again, I'm using the Age Beige by Behr, and this is the second coat. I went ahead and used Bondo to fill in all of the hardware holes because we're going to go ahead and put new hardware on them. But again, just love this color. If you've never used the Bondo, it's actually a two-part, kind of like epoxy. You mix a hardener cream into it, and you have to work pretty fast with it. It tends to dry fast, but it's great. I put it in the hardware holes, let it dry, sand it down, and then you can paint over top of it, and it just acts as like wood filler. And I only am giving these dresser drawers one coat of paint, and you'll see why here in a minute. I wanted to try something different that I've never tried on furniture before by covering the drawer fronts with burlap. So it only needed one coat of paint just in case you could see through the burlap. And that is what I'm doing here. And so I found this burlap at the thrift shop. And so I'm just measuring it to fit the entire drawer front. And then I will attach it with a spray adhesive. I used the strong spray adhesive from Gorilla Glue or made by Gorilla Glue, and that seemed to work very well. And then after that dries, you can see there I was measuring the trim pieces. We're going to go ahead and paint them and then attach the trim pieces and the new hardware. So it is totally giving this plain pine wood dresser from IKEA an elevated look. And like I said, it's all on a budget. I used the paint that I already had. The burlap came from the hardware store. The trim, I think we paid like 67 cents a foot. So that barely cost us anything. We just got that at Home Depot. The only thing that we did spend on was the hardware, and I am thinking that was right around $25. And you can see my pile there in the background. What we came up with for the window treatments was to use drop cloths. So they were the perfect length already cut. So I went ahead and opened them up and washed them good. I took the time to steam them and to iron them. And then we just got some little clip O-rings to go over the curtain rod. So you'll see here in a minute the final look of the drop cloth curtains, but I love the color. I love the material. It's thick and it just hangs nice. And so it kind of reminds me, not the feel of it so much, but the look of it reminds me of a linen, like a khaki colored linen. So I was like, yep, we can do that on a budget. Jerry actually had a $50 gift card from some returns that he made at Home Depot. And so we were able to get the drop cloths. And here I just went ahead and filled in all the little holes after we applied that trim. And Jerry helped me, of course, you saw there, put the hardware on. And here's some final pictures. Let's talk thrifted. Like I said, the wallpaper was thrifted. That chair was thrifted. The footstool was thrifted. The pillow was thrifted. The drop cloth curtains you can see there, I think we had to put $20 into them after the $50 gift card. This lantern here was thrifted. So let's go ahead and check out the before again. I moved all of my coffee stuff to the kitchen. The weights went to the garage. I made a space underneath my cabinet for all the water jugs. And we moved the water cooler over beside that dresser at the end. And the rug came out of that same Airbnb we had, so I didn't have to pay for that. The lamp there, thrifted. I even thrifted one of those sets of drawers underneath the dresser for $19.99 from Goodwill. And all the caddies and home decor that's sitting around, we also got at the thrift shop. And now let's take a look at the after. It just looks so much better. There you see those drop cloth curtains. We did add a dehumidifier in, so I know that takes up a little bit more space, but I swapped the tables out. That little round wooden table I found at a second hand store as well. And these pieces of hardware here just make such a difference on this furniture. I wanted to tell you a little bit about these sconces. They are rechargeable battery light bulbs. I think I talked about these in an episode before, and we just mounted them to the wall. We actually paid $6 for them at the thrift store. And I think that they are a great addition to this room. The picture there came out of the Airbnb. So again, we didn't have to pay anything for that. And I am just in love with how this dresser came out. Such a big difference. I hope that you all enjoyed this episode. I know it took us a few weeks to get everything done, but step by step, we did it. And now our office is nice and clean and such a great spot to work in. I really do enjoy when I have to do the office work, sitting there and looking outside. We often have deer and some amazing birds, and there's a pond right outside this window, so you'll often see the fish jumping. And I just really have come to love this space. and every thrifted thing in it. So thanks again for your support. Thanks for watching. Again, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, comment, let me know what is your favorite part of this office makeover. Share this with a friend. And until next time, friends, I hope you have a great week.